Now idea is okay, I think. Now you are hearing. Okay, okay. I forgot to just touch the mute button. Okay, right. You see, here a block is kept on the inclined plane. Okay. Here, what is the contact force between the block and inclined plane? The asked coefficient of friction is given, mass of the block is given. So whenever the block is sliding, then weight component mg sin the weight actually always acts vertically downwards direction. A component mg sin 30 acts in this direction and mg cos 30 acts in this direction. Here mg cos 30 is perpendicular to inclined plane. So normal action also acts in this direction. No? Along this direction, as there is no motion, normal action is equal to weight component mg cos 30. Whenever the block is sliding, because of contact of the block with the inclined plane, friction force acts opposite to the motion of the block. That's why Fk in this direction. This is due to contact force. This is also due to contact force. If contact is not there, no normal action, no friction force. That's why these two are the contact forces only. Okay. Hence, what is the resultant of these two? As these two are perpendicular, resultant of those two is equal to square root of when two forces acts on a body which are at right angles to each other, then the resultant force is equal to square root of m square plus fk square. No, fk means we can write mu into normal action. In this case, normal action is equal to mg cos 30. Okay. Okay. First, you write the normal action only. Here, normal action square is there. Here, normal action square is there. You take common and write outside the root. Then you will get n into 1 plus mu square. When you substitute the data, you will get answer like this. Okay. Note down. Okay. Pavan Shiva. Pavan Shiva. Okay. I explained again. Right. Next to fourth problem, very, very important. Definitely, this type of question may be asked. This question previously it was asked in mains. It's very, very important. No, here, what is the contact force they asked? That means effective contact force. This is one contact force, this is one contact force. If they ask the contact force means resultant contact force we have to find. Net contact force we have to find. mg sin theta. How this mg sin 30 is contact force? It is the weight. Even the block is in contact with the inclined plane or not, the weight component always acts. That weight component mg sin theta is not the contact force. Answer is here. Answer is fourth option is correct. Whatever the answer given, I don't know, but fourth option is correct here. Fourth option is correct. If it is not given, if that answer is not given like this, you change that option. Okay. Which problem? Third problem. I said the third problem now. I said the third problem. Okay. Now fourth problem. You see. All of you see the problem. All of you see fourth problem. All of you see the fourth problem. The minimum force required to move the body up the inclined plane is 3 times the minimum force required to prevent it from slipping down. The coefficient of friction between the body and the inclined plane is mu is equal to 1 by 2 root 3 is given. Okay, then angle of inclined plane is dash. The minimum force required to move the body up the inclined plane is okay. I think you have seen the problem. Now look at the board. Look at the board. Answer is 30 degree, I think. We see the minimum force required to move the body up the inclined plane. To move the body up the inclined plane, what is the minimum force? Mg of sin theta plus mu cos theta. Yesterday already in concepts I said. Okay, that is equal to 3 times the minimum force required to prevent the slipping of the block on inclined plane downwards. That means whenever the block comes down, the net force acts on the block downwards is equal to mg of sin 30 minus mu cos theta, sin theta minus mg of sin theta plus minus mu cos theta. No, that is the net force acts on the block while it is coming down. Okay, to prevent the slipping of the block downwards, the minimum force required is equal to whatever the net force acts on the block downwards, that amount of force to be applied on the block upwards. That's why mg of sin theta minus mu cos theta we have to apply upwards. Here, the force required to pull the block upwards is equal to 3 times the net force required to be 3 times the net force to be applied to prevent the slipping. You see, the minimum force required to move the body up the inclined plane is 3 times the minimum force required to prevent the body from slipping down the inclined plane. Question of friction is given. Then angle of the inclined plane they asked. This is the question. If mg cancel, then sin theta plus mu cos theta is equal to 3 sin theta minus 3 mu cos theta. No? It is mg of sin theta minus mu cos theta. Okay. Now here you bring this sin theta to right and minus 3 mu cos theta to left. Then 4 mu cos theta is equal to 4 sin theta. 3 sin theta minus sin theta means 2 sin theta. Here 2 twos are. Therefore, we need sin theta by cos theta is equal to 2 twos are. That means 2 mu. Therefore, tan theta is equal to 2 into mu means 1 by 2 root 3. 2 cancel. Therefore, theta is equal to 30 degree now. So, angle of inclination is equal to 30 degree. Okay. John William, angle of inclination is 30. What up? Next, sixth one is important. Fifth one you do. Sixth one is important. Fifth one you do. Next, you see. Sixth problem. A block of mass 2 kg is lying on a rough inclined plane. The force needed to move the block up the inclined plane with uniform velocity by applying a force parallel to the plane is 100 Newton. The force needed to move the block up the plane with an acceleration of 2 meters per second square is dash. Okay, have you seen the problem? Now, look at the board, all of you. The sixth problem. A block slides down a block of mass 2 kg. So mass of the block is given 2 kg. A block of mass 2 kg is lying on a rough inclined plane. The force needed to move the block up the plane with uniform velocity by applying the force parallel to the plane is dash. Okay. Here, what is the force required to move the body up the inclined plane to move with constant velocity? While moving upwards, while moving the body along the inclined plane upwards, you see, while moving the body up the inclined plane, the force, while moving the body up the inclined plane, the force acts on the body downwards is equal to weight component mg sin theta acts downwards and frictional force also acts in downwards direction. That's why to move the block up the inclined plane with constant velocity, net force acts on the block along the inclined plane must be 0. That's why the force applied must be equal to sum of these two, so that net force becomes 0 and move with constant velocity. That's why minimum force required to move the block up the inclined plane with constant velocity is equal to mg sin theta plus f. That means mg of sin theta plus mu cos theta we can write now. This is given as 100 Newton. Here this force is applied parallel to the inclined plane, that is given. Sometimes it is given that the force applied is parallel to the force applied on the block is horizontal. Okay, then what is the minimum force with which it is pulled along horizontal direction so that the block just starts sliding upwards? May given like that. So in such case, the component of this horizontal force you take in this direction. That component of this force along this direction is equal to mg sin theta plus f. In this case, mg sin theta plus f. F means moving into normal action. In this case, what is the normal action? You see, I will say the same problem like this. Of course, it is not asked like that, but they may ask like this also. Here, while the block move upwards, weight component mg sin theta acts downwards. Here, and the The frictional force also acts on the body in downwards direction. To pull the block upwards, here a horizontal force F is applied. What is the minimum horizontal force required to move the block up the inclined plane? Maybe asked like that also. So in this case, you see component of this force along the inclined plane is how much, and perpendicular to inclined plane, what is the component of this force? Here already we know if it is theta, this is theta. Then weight component mg cos theta acts here. If it is theta, okay. If it is theta, then this is equal to theta. Because this is horizontal line, it is horizontal line, it is inclined, parallel to inclining is this one. That's why it is equal to f cos theta. This is equal to, in this direction, f sin theta is there. Here you see, here at the plane of contact, perpendicular to the plane of contact, okay, the force with which the block pushes the inclined plane downwards is equal to f sin theta plus mg cos theta. Then equivalent normal action acts in this direction. So in this case, normal action is equal to f sin theta plus mg cos theta. Now, to move the block up the inclined plane, definitely f cos theta must be equal to sum of these two forces. F cos theta is equal to mg sin theta plus frictional force F. Mg sin theta plus frictional force means mu into normal action. Mg sin theta plus mu into, what is the normal action here? Normal action is equal to this one. In this case, f sin theta plus mg cos theta. Okay, this is equal to f cos theta. Now we bring f terms one side. F cos theta is equal to mg sin theta plus mu f sin theta plus mu mg cos theta. You bring this term to left and you take f common. F of cos theta minus mu sin theta is equal to, in these two terms you take mg common. Mg of sin theta plus mu cos theta. Therefore, f is equal to mg of sin theta plus mu cos theta by cos theta minus mu sin theta. This formula is also very, very important. This concept is also very, very important. Of course, it is not asked. In this problem, it is not given like this. Here, this is the horizontal force required. But here it is given that the force parallel to the inclined plane required to move the body up the inclined plane with constant velocity is given. Whenever the block move along the inclined plane upwards with constant velocity, net force in downward direction is equal to applied force along the inclined plane upwards. That's why F is equal to mg of sin theta plus mu cos theta. That is given as 100. Next, the force needed to move the block up the inclined plane with acceleration 2 meters per second square is dash. To move the block up the inclined plane with acceleration, to move the block up the inclined plane with acceleration a is equal to 2 meters per second square. What is the force needed? The force needed is a f dash. F dash is equal to how much? While moving the block in upward direction, the net force acts on the block means no doubt weight component mg sin theta acts downwards and the friction also acts downwards direction. Okay, net force acts on the block is equal to f dash minus of, in the direction of motion of the block, this is applied force f dash, and downwards direction the sum of these two forces acts. So net force acts on the block along the inclined plane upwards is equal to f dash minus of mg plus fk, mg plus fk. Fk means we can, okay, mg plus fk, you write first. This is equal to net force acts on the block. That net force is equal to mass of the block into acceleration a. Therefore, f dash is equal to ma plus mg plus fk plus fk. This is equal to ma plus mg plus fk means mu into normal action. Whenever the body is kept along on the inclined plane, normal action here is equal to, there is no component of this force perpendicular to the inclined plane. So only weight component mg cos theta acts normal action upwards. That's why here mg cos theta. In all the terms, you take here in this two terms you take mg common. 1 plus, sorry, here mg sin theta no, it is mg sin theta. So sin theta plus mu cos theta. This is the net force required. So substitute the data. M means mass of the body is 2 kg, acceleration is equal to 2 meters per second square, plus m means 2 kg into g10 sin theta. Whatever theta value. Okay, here already this value is given directly. Previously, mg of sin theta plus mu cos theta means that is equal to 100. No, you substitute directly 100. Ma plus 100. This is equal to m means 2 k's into a means 10. Sorry, a means 2 plus 10. So, mg of sin theta plus mu cos theta is 100. So you substitute 100. And therefore, f dash is equal to 104, no, 104 Newton. So in this case, force needed is equal to 104. 104 Newton. No? Okay, very good. Sai Umesh, Mokshit Reddy. Go. Next, seventh sum. Okay, seventh sum. You see the seventh sum. Seventh problem. A block slides down a slope of angle theta with constant velocity. It is then projected up with a velocity. Okay, very, very important problem. You see, angle of inclination is equal to 30 degrees. It's a very, very important problem. In the concepts only we can discuss, but because of lack of time, I did not discuss that point. So you see how we can do this problem. Here, very, very important it is. It was previously asked bit. A block slides down a slope of inclined angle theta with constant velocity. One block, you see, one block slides down with constant velocity. Actually, when the block slides down, then what are the forces acts on the block along the inclined plane? Of course, weight mg acts downwards direction. When you resolve this weight into components, this component is mg sin theta and this component is mg cos theta. Because if it is 30, of course, if it is theta, it is also theta. Okay. Because of this weight component, the block slides down and move with acceleration. But at the same time, friction acts in opposite direction. As the block is in motion, kinetic friction exists between these two. The kinetic friction opposes the motion of the block. Okay, have you seen the question? Now all of you look at the board. Here on the block, on the inclined plane, whenever the block is kept, the weight component mg sin theta acts downwards direction, and at the same time, as the block moving upwards, the block moves down with constant velocity or uniform velocity. Uniform velocity. At the same time, as the block moves down, then kinetic friction acts on the block opposite to the motion in this direction. So along the inclined plane on the block, there are two forces. Of course, here normal action acts in this direction. But along the inclined plane or parallel to the inclined plane on the block, there are two forces, mg sin theta and fk acts along the inclined plane opposite direction. Even then, as the block slides down with uniform velocity, whatever the relation between the forces, equal. This force and this force equal, because as the block comes down with uniform velocity, net force is zero. Net force is zero means mg sin theta minus fk is equal to 0, or mg sin theta is equal to fk. Fk means mu k into normal reaction. Mu k into normal reaction. Of course, here normal reaction is equal to mg cos theta. No? Okay, this is equation 1. One condition is given like this. Now, the block is then projected up with a velocity 10 meters per second. The maximum distance it can go up the plane before coming to rest. Now the same block is projected up with a velocity 10 meters per second. Of course, whatever the velocity, with a velocity 10 meters per second. As long as the block move upwards. Okay, weight component mg sin theta acts downwards and friction also acts downwards direction, kinetic friction. That's why whenever the block move upwards, as the total force acts on the block is downwards direction here, retarding force acts on them. Due to that, velocity gradually decreases, and after reaches certain position, velocity becomes 0. Before their velocity becomes 0, to what distance the body travel along the inclined plane? That is the question they asked. So along incline. First, I want to derive the formula directly. Okay. Initial velocity, velocity of projection is u along the inclined plane. Acceleration. Here, whenever the block travel along the inclined plane upwards, the total forces acts on the block opposite to their motion is Fk plus mg sin theta. It opposes these two, sum of these two forces, mg sin theta plus Fk. Sum of these two forces opposes the motion. No? Whenever the block move in this direction, sum of these two forces opposes the motion of the block. That's why these two are retarding forces. That's why retarding force is represented with the minus sign. Because of this retarding force, the block travel with the deceleration and comes to rest. That's why it is the negative force. Negative force by mass of the block gives retardation A. Okay, this is equal to minus mg sin theta plus Fk is equal to mg sin theta only, no? So mg sin theta whole by m. Therefore, this is equal to minus 2mg sin theta by m. Mm cancel. So minus 2z sin theta. This is the retardation. Final velocity is 0. Before coming to rest, whenever the block comes to rest, final velocity is 0. After travel what distance? That is the question. What is the relation among them? From v square minus u square is equal to 2as. V means 0, u means u only, u square. 2, a means minus 2z sin theta into s. We have to find. Minus minus cancel. Therefore, distance traveled before coming to rest is equal to u square by 4z sin theta. The problem here previously, based on this concept, the problem is asked like this. Here, problem is asked like this, and what is the distance traveled before coming to rest? Same answer is given. But here in this problem, data is given. Now we substitute the data. Of course, you follow the same procedure and you substitute the data. By substituting only here, you calculate everything. Then we'll get answer. Okay. So S is equal to U means 10 meter per second. No. So 10 into 10 by 4 into G means 10 into sin theta means sin 30. So 10 10 cancel. Sin 30 means 1 by 2. 1 by 2. 2's are here. 2 5's are. Therefore, distance travel is equal to 5 meter. No. Distance travel is equal to 5 meter before coming to rest. Answer is given 10. Answer is given 10. Is there any mistake there? U square is 10 into 10 by 4 into G means 10 sin 30. 1 by 2. 20. 5 only we are getting. What is the answer we are getting? 5 meter only, no? So what is the answer given? 5 meter only given. Okay, right. So 5 meter is the answer. Of course, I have not noted correctly in the notes. Okay, 5. This is one of the important problems. Next, you see the next problem. In level 2, first problem you do. In level 2, note down the homework. In level 2, first problem you do. So, evening, if you are having any doubt, you ask me the problem. You keep in WhatsApp, then I will explain. So, level 2, first problem you do. Next. Okay, you see, sixth problem. Sixth problem you do. Third problem I will explain. Okay, third problem, all of you see the third problem. Third problem, most important. I think already I said the concept. Okay, based on the concept you can do. Already I said the concept now. In this third problem, already I said the concept. So only based on that concept you can do. So third problem you can do, I think. Pavan Shiva, what is our in frictional force? Why did not you take MU? Here, frictional force means that is the external force acts on the block now. External force acts on the block. Okay, external force, that frictional force is the external force, acts on the block. That's why we should not take the conservation of linear momentum phenomena. Okay. What is Pingu? What is our doubt? Pingu, you asked consting. What is consting? I don't know. What is consting? Pingu. Pingu, you respond. Pingu. You respond, I will meet off you. Okay, I unmute you. Pingu, you respond.
Sir, in tomorrow's exam, constraint questions.
Constraint. Okay, constraint. Actually, constraint is not mentioned in the schedule. In Newton's laws, actually, constraint relations are there. They are very, very important. But
Yes.
in Newton's laws, constraint relation that was not mentioned in the schedule.
Yes, sir.
That's why I did not teach in the class. But they are important. Definitely, after that, you will be having that constraint relation. Otherwise, I will take extra class and I will discuss. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Right, Nana. Right. Next, in this, you do, okay, note the problems which you have to do. You do in level 2, first problem you do. Third problem already I said the concept, no? Third problem already I said. No, third problem direct formula I said. How we had to do, I explained. I explained the concept and same formula. With what acceleration, maximum acceleration with which the monkey or boy can climb along the rope. But I took monkey and I said, here boy is given. That is only the difference. Everything is same. I think you can do. Same formula, same concept. Formula is also same. Only data we have to substitute. Okay. So you do that problem. Next, sixth problem you do. Sixth problem you do. Okay. Next, seventh problem. Seventh problem I will explain. Previously, that was given in one competitive exam. Of course, MCET exam. In MCET exams, same problem is given. In our state MCET exam, in state AP state MCET exam, that problem was given. Okay, seventh problem. In this exercise, seventh problem. Okay, a body is moving up an inclined plane of angle theta with initial kinetic energy capital E. Angle of inclination is theta. Initially, the body is projected with a kinetic energy, initial kinetic energy EI is equal to capital E. That means it is projected with some velocity say U. So that kinetic energy E is equal to half mu square. No, this is equation 1. That is given. Okay. The coefficient of friction between the plane and the body is mu. Of course, mu is given. Coefficient of friction. The work done against the friction before the body comes to rest. Before the body comes to rest, what is the amount of work done? The work done against the friction, they ask it. Okay, here you see, whenever the block move upwards, the weight component mg sin theta acts downwards, and friction force, kinetic friction also acts downwards. Because of this retarding force acts on the block, the velocity of the block goes on decrease, and after travel some distance, velocity becomes 0. So before the velocity becomes 0, what is the distance traveled? That distance is say yes. And what is the work done by friction? They asked it. Work done by friction, they asked it. You see the problem. In the problem, you see, work done against the friction, they asked it. Work done by friction means, you see, whenever the block travel in this direction, then friction force acts opposite to their motion. That's why work done by friction means friction force acts on the block Fk into displacement before coming to rest. Yes. But friction force is in this direction, whereas displacement is in opposite direction. That's why you can take the friction force negative. So negative work is done. Therefore, work done by friction means work done by friction. Work done by friction means Wf is equal to simply Fk into S. Because work done against the friction, work done against the friction. Work done against the friction itself represents negative work done. So Fk into S. That is question mark. This is the question they asked. Okay, see, initially, before coming to rest, what is the distance traveled? We have to find first. Initial velocity is equal to 0. Initial velocity E, U. Here, initial kinetic energy E is equal to half mu square is given. So what is the initial velocity? 2e by m into root under root no. From this initial energy is given, initial kinetic energy, that is equal to half m square. From this velocity of projection is this one. Before coming to rest means v is equal to 0. Okay, next what about the acceleration? When the block move upward direction, net force acts on the block downwards is equal to Fk plus mg sin theta. No? That is the retardation. That's why minus retarding force is equal to mg sin theta plus Fk. It is the retarding force by mass. That is the retardation. Then what is the distance traveled before coming to rest? Okay. Therefore, from this formula, from v square minus u square is equal to 2as. V square means 0 minus u square means 2e by m. Root will be cancelled. Is equal to 2 into a means here. A means minus of mg sin theta plus Fk. Keep Fk like this only. By m. Okay, m cancel, minus cancel, this 2 cancel. So therefore, E is equal to mg sin theta plus Fk. E is equal to mg. Okay, here S is also there, no? S is also there. A is substituted here into S is there. Okay, therefore S is equal to how much? Distance traveled before coming to rest is equal to E by mg sin theta plus Fk, no? Which is the distance traveled before coming to rest. Okay, now what is the work done against the friction they asked? What is the work done against the friction? Okay. Of course, coefficient of friction is also given. Therefore, work done against the friction. Work done against friction. Wf is equal to friction force Fk into S. Fk means here kinetic friction is equal to mu into normal reaction. No? Kinetic friction is equal to Fk means mu into normal reaction. In this case, what is the normal reaction? We have to substitute. If displacement before coming to rest is this E by mg sin theta plus Fk. Fk we have to substitute. Fk means mu into normal reaction. So mu into, in this case, normal reaction is equal to weight component mg cos theta is the normal reaction. No? Because weight mg acts downwards direction. When you resolve them into two components, mg cos theta is exactly opposite to normal reaction. That's why normal reaction means mg cos theta into E by mg sin theta plus mu into normal reaction means mg cos theta. In all terms, mg can be cancelled. No? So mg can be taken common and we can cancel. Therefore, work done against the friction is equal to mu E cos theta by sin theta plus mu cos theta. So work done against the friction is equal to mu E cos theta by mu cos theta plus sin theta. So this was the direct question they asked in MCET exam. This was the direct question they asked in MCET exam. Okay, fourth option, very good. Shiva, very good. Okay, next we will do some important problems in exercise 4, block on block concept problems. What is this one? Here, block is projected with a kinetic energy E. Definitely, as it is projected with some kinetic energy, definitely it is having velocity of projection U. So kinetic energy E is equal to half m square, we can write now. Implies U is equal to, we can write root 2e by m. So this is the velocity of projection. Okay. Now whenever the block is projected upwards, on the block along the inclined plane, mg sin theta acts always along the inclined plane downwards. But whenever the block move upwards along the inclined plane, the friction acts in opposite direction. That's why mg sin theta and Fk, these are the retarding forces acts on the block. Due to that, the velocity of the block gradually decreases and becomes zero after travel distance equal to s. Here they asked what is the work done by friction. They asked work done on the block against the friction. They asked work done against the friction. Work done by the friction is equal to general formula is Fs cos theta. But Fk in this direction, displacement in this direction. As they are in opposite direction, Fk into S into cos 180 is minus 1. So minus Fk into S. This minus sign represents work is done against the friction. That's why work done against the friction is equal to, simply you take magnitude. Because work done against friction itself represents work is done opposite to the direction of the friction. That's why this against represents itself represents minus sign. So work done against the friction Wf is equal to Fk into S. Now what is the S? Before coming to rest, what is the distance traveled? Initial velocity is known, final velocity is 0, acceleration. When the block move outwards, the total force acts on the block opposite to the direction of motion is mg sin theta plus Fk. It is a retarding force. So minus total retarding force acts on the block opposite to the motion is equal to mg sin theta plus Fk. This is the retarding force by m. Use the retardation. Distance traveled before coming to rest is S. From that we got S value. Therefore, work done against the friction is equal to friction force Fk into S. Fk means mu into normal action into S means this one. You substitute. Normal action means a normal action acts on the block which is perpendicular to plane of contact is equal to mg cos theta only. No, that's why instead of n you substitute mg cos theta and you simplify them. You will get like this. So this is the work done against the friction. Okay. Now you see exercise 4. Now you see the exercise 4. Exercise 4, problem number 1, you see. Exercise 4, level 1, problem number 1, you see. Exercise 4, level 1, page number 212, problem number 1. A 40K slab rests on a frictionless floor. This was also previously asked in MCET. A 40K slab rests on the frictionless floor. A 10K block rests on the top of the slab. Okay. Here, the 40K block. Here, M1 is equal to 40K. A 40K block is kept on the smooth horizontal floor. Okay. A 10K block rests on the top of the slab. So on this is the slab or block. Over the slab, another block of mass M2. That M1 is equal to 40K. M2 is equal to 10K. So a block of mass 10K is kept over this one. Coefficient of kinetic friction between the block and the slab. Block and slab. That is equal to mu k is equal to 0.4 given. A horizontal force of F is applied. A horizontal force F is equal to 100 Newton is applied towards left. Then find the resulting acceleration of the slab. Resulting acceleration of the slab, they ask, this means this one. So acceleration of the slab. Acceleration of slab. A1 is equal to question mark. Acceleration of the slab A1 is equal to question mark. So here, first of all, morning I said the concept. Okay. Here, whenever the upper block is pulling with a force 100 Newton, the lower block starts motion because of friction only, because of friction between these two only, So what is the kinetic friction between them? What is the kinetic friction between them? First you find whenever the block is moving like this, the kinetic friction acts on this block is in this direction and the same kinetic friction acts on the block in this direction. As they ask for the acceleration, definitely these two blocks are in motion. One block move over the other block, but lower block is pulled by the friction, kinetic friction only, Okay, therefore, what is the kinetic friction? Kinetic friction Fk is equal to Uk into normal reaction. Here to find the kinetic friction, normal reaction here is equal to N is equal to M2Z only, So normal reaction that is equal to mu k into M2Z. So what about mu k? Mu k means 0.4 given. M2 means 10 into G 10. So that is equal to 40 Newton. So kinetic friction is equal to 40 Newton. Here, applied force is greater than kinetic friction. As applied force F is equal to 100 Newton, that is greater than kinetic friction Fk. That is greater than kinetic friction 40 Newton. definitely both blocks move separately. Both blocks move separately. Both blocks move separately. Then when both blocks move separately, the lower block is pulled by kinetic friction only. That's why, therefore, on acceleration of slab, comma, A1 is equal to acceleration of the slab. A1 is equal to A1. They asked A1 is equal to, definitely if applied force is less than the kinetic friction between these two, the two blocks move together. Of course, applied force is less than the friction force between these two blocks move together. But applied force greater than the kinetic friction. That's why both blocks move separately. Whenever both blocks move separately, the lower slab is pulled only because of friction force. The lower block will move because of kinetic friction only. That's why acceleration of the lower block A1 is equal to, or lower slab A1 is equal to, force acts on the lower block Fk by mass of this lower block M1. So therefore, A1 is equal to frictional force mu into normal reaction on this block is equal to weight of this block acts as the normal reaction because the weight of this upper block M2Z acts downwards. This upper block pushes the lower block downwards with force M2Z. The equivalent reaction force acts. That's why normal reaction is equal to M2Z. So normal reaction M2Z by M1. Now we substitute the data. Of course, we need not substitute because minus mu k into M2Z already we calculated, no? So simply you keep like this only, Fk by M1 simply. Therefore, A1 is equal to Fk means 40 by M1 means 40. Therefore, A1 is equal to 1 meter per second square. So 1 meter per second square is the answer. What is the acceleration of the upper block? Yeah, 1 meter per second square. What is the acceleration of the upper block? If they ask what is the acceleration of the upper block? In case of upper block of mass M2, applied force F is equal to 100 Newton acts in this direction, and kinetic friction acts on the upper block opposite to their motion. That's why Fk acts in this direction. That is equal to 40. Then what is the acceleration of the upper block means? As this applied force is more, definitely acceleration in this direction. Acceleration Lt is equal to net force acts on the block in this direction. F minus Fk by mass of this block M2. Of course, is equal to 100 minus 40 by M2 means M2 is equal to 10. Therefore, 6 meter per second square. No? So upper block travel with an acceleration this one. Of course, this is not given, but if they ask, we can do like this. If they ask, we can do like this. 6 meter per second. Right. Next. Shall I write this one? Shall I write this one? Last 15 minutes, up to 5:30 only. Up to 5:30 I will take. Okay. Right. Next, second problem. A 2-case block is placed over the 4-case block. A 2-case block is placed over the 4-case block, and both are placed on the smooth horizontal surface. It is the smooth horizontal surface. The acceleration of the two blocks, if the horizontal force Paul Newton is applied on the lower block, when Paul Newton force is applied on the lower block, when 12 Newton force is applied on the lower block, the accelerations of the two blocks, the coefficient of friction between the two blocks is equal to 0.20. That is given. Then acceleration of the lower block is equal to how much? Acceleration of the upper block is equal to how much? That is the question they asked. Okay. First of all, here, what is the friction force between the two blocks? Here, what is friction force between the two blocks? First, you find F is equal to mu into normal action m to 0. Here, in order to find the friction force, here mu into at this point normal action means the weight m to z acts as the normal action. That is called 0.2 into 2 into m to means 2 into g means 10. Okay, this is equal to 24 4 Newton. So it is the friction force between the two blocks together. Now, for both blocks to move together, what is the condition? For both blocks to move together, morning we derived the condition. For both blocks to move together, what is the condition we derived? For both blocks to move together, what is the condition we derived? For both blocks to move together, what is the condition we derived? You see, here what is the, first of all, if both blocks move together, then what is the acceleration? Here, common acceleration, if both blocks move together, if both blocks move together, then common acceleration AC, we have to check them. Common acceleration comma AC is equal to total force acts on the system by total mass m1 plus m2. As both blocks move together in the same direction, then both blocks together constitute a single body having mass m1 plus m2. Applied force is 12 by total mass is 6. That's why 2 meter per second square. 2 meter per second square. Okay. So therefore, what is the pseudo force acts on the block? Whenever the two blocks travel like this block also travel with acceleration this one. Therefore, pseudo force acts on the block in backward direction of m2 into a. Therefore, to find what is the pseudo force. Pseudo force acts on the upper block. Because whenever this block travels in acceleration a in forward direction, at the same time, with respect to this block, pseudo force acts on the upper block in opposite direction. So pseudo force on m2, comma, F is pseudo force F is equal to F dash is equal to m2 AC. F dash is equal to m2 means 2 into AC means AC is equal to, that is equal to 4 Newton. Friction force is equal to 4 Newton. No? Friction force is also equal to 4 Newton. That means limiting friction between these two is 4 Newton. Pseudo force acts on the block is 4 Newton. That's why the limiting friction between these two. On the upper block, limiting friction acts in this direction. Pseudo force acts in this direction. But limiting friction balances the pseudo force. No? When pseudo force greater than limiting friction, then this block will move over this one, so that both blocks move separately. But pseudo force balances the limiting friction. That's why two blocks move together only. So as pseudo force F dash is equal to 4 Newton, that is equal to limiting friction, then both blocks move together. Both blocks move together. Therefore, common acceleration. AC is common acceleration already we calculated. Common acceleration equal to 2, no? So 2 meter per second square. Therefore, acceleration of the first block, acceleration of the second block, all are same, is equal to 2 meter per second square. Suppose if the pseudo force is greater than, pseudo force is less than or equal to limiting friction, both blocks travel with the same acceleration. Suppose if the pseudo force greater than limiting friction, pseudo force greater than limiting friction, in such case, both blocks travel separately. So in such case, what is the acceleration of this one means? Here, FA acts in this direction, M2A acts in this direction. Even then, as these two blocks separately, what is the acceleration of this block means? This kinetic friction minus M2A is equal to net force acts on this block, that is equal to M2A2. Then A2 we calculate. Similarly, on this block, 12 Newton acts in this direction and kinetic friction acts in this direction. Then net force is equal to 12 minus this kinetic friction. That is equal to m1 into a1. a1 is equal to how much? In that way we have to calculate. But here, as pseudo force is equal to limiting friction, then both blocks move together. If pseudo force acts on the block, acts on the upper block is equal to or less than the limiting friction, both blocks move together. Okay. Yeah. That is the answer. Last problem, third problem. In this third problem, in level 2 first problem you do. In level 2, you see, in level 2 first problem you do. In level 2 first problem you do. In level 2 advanced first problem you do. Third problem I will explain. Next passage 1, those problems you do. Okay, now third problem. Very, very important. A stationary body of mass m is slowly lowered onto a rough massive platform moving at a constant velocity 4 meters per second. The distance the body will slide with respect to the platform, if mu is equal to 0.2, is here. There is a platform. There is a platform. The platform travels with a constant velocity v0 is equal to 4 meters per second. Here, a stationary body of mass is kept. Here, this platform is massive platform. It is massive. That means heavier mass. That's why the velocity of this platform does not change. Even a block of mass m is kept over this one. So a stationary body of mass m is slowly lowered onto the rough massive platform, moving at a constant velocity 4 meters per second. Distance the body will slide with respect to the platform, mu is equal to 0.2. Here the surface on which platform is kept is the smooth. The coefficient of friction between the block and the platform, mu is equal to 0.2 is given. Okay, all of you look at the board now. All of you look at the board. Yeah, I will upload the video. So here you see a massive platform, that means heavier mass. It is in the form of a platform like this, that is kept on this smooth floor, and the platform is made to move with constant velocity 4 meters per second. Now a small block of mass m is stationary block of mass m is gently kept over the platform. The coefficient of friction between the block and the platform is equal to mu. That mu is equal to 0.2 is given. Okay, now distance traveled by the body before with respect to the platform. The distance the body will slide with respect to the platform is how much? Okay, you see, this block travel because of friction between these two. Whenever this block is pulled like this block also dragged along the platform with some acceleration. That's why, because of friction between the block and this platform, the friction force pulls the block in this direction. The friction force pulls the block in this direction. Okay, now initial relative velocity. Block is in motion and this upper block is in motion. Platform is also in motion. That's why you consider the relative motion. Initial relative velocity of body with respect to platform, that is equal to u, velocity of the body minus velocity of the platform. Here, initial velocity of the body is 0 now, because just it is kept over the platform. That's why along this direction there is no velocity. That's why 0 minus initial velocity of the platform is 4. Acceleration. Here, the friction force only pulls the block in forward direction. That's why acceleration is equal to friction force by mass. That is equal to acceleration. Or relative acceleration we have to write. Sorry, because we consider the relative now. Relative acceleration is equal to acceleration of the body with respect to platform. Acceleration of the body minus acceleration of the platform. Acceleration of the body means because of friction force only the block will accelerate. That's why frictional force by mass of the block small m is the acceleration minus acceleration of the platform. Platform travel with a constant acceleration. That's why acceleration of the platform is 0. F means what is the friction force? Mu into normal reaction acts on this block. Because friction force acts on this block means the friction force between this block and platform is F is equal mu into normal reaction acts at this point. That is equal to mg only, no? Mg by mm cancel. So mu g. So mu means mu is equal to 0.2 into g means 10 you take. 10 is given, of course. That is equal to 2 meter per second square. Relative final velocity v relative is equal to final velocity of the body with respect to platform. That is equal to vv minus vb. Here, because of this friction, whenever this block accelerates over the platform, the velocity of this block gradually increases, so that relative velocity between the block and the platform gradually decreases. You see, the initial relative velocity of the block with respect to platform is ub minus up, no? Here up is constant, but whenever the friction force pulls the block in this direction, its velocity gradually increases from 0. Whenever the velocity gradually increases, then this velocity gradually increases, and whenever this velocity becomes equal to velocity of the platform 4, then relative velocity between these two becomes 0. Whenever relative velocity becomes 0, then final relative velocity becomes 0. So whenever the final relative velocity is 0, then both block and platform both travel with the same velocity. Whenever both travel with the same velocity, in such case, there is no friction force between these two. Then the upper block travel with the constant velocity 4 meter per second. So in that case, what is the here they asked what is the distance travel? So before this block acquires this much velocity, what is the distance traveled? Relative distance s is equal to question mark. So from v square minus u square is equal to 2as. V square means 0 minus u square means minus 4 whole square, of course. Minus 4 whole square means 16. 2a means 2 into s. S is equal to 4 meter, no? S is equal to 4 meter. So here 2 into a into s. S is equal to minus 4 meter. Minus 4 represents with respect to platform, the block seems to be travel in the opposite direction. So 4 meter is the answer. Yeah, 4 meter is the answer. Okay, not 4 meter, no. Here you see v square minus u square is equal to 2s, no. V means final relative velocity is 0. Initial relative velocity is equal to minus 4. Okay, so minus 4 whole square means minus 16. Minus is there, no, here. Is equal to 2 into here acceleration of the block minus acceleration of the plank. So that is equal to 2 meter per second square. We got 2. Then s is equal to, you'll get minus 4 meter. So minus 4 represents before the block stops slipping. At the time, with respect to block, the plank travel a distance equal to 4 meter backward direction. It travel in forward direction, travel in backward direction. That means with respect to platform, the block seems to be traveling in backward direction. That is the minus. That's why minus sign is that one. Because it traveling to more velocity, it traveling to less velocity. Initially, it is at rest. That's why whenever with respect to platform, when you observe the block seems to be traveling in backward direction to a distance 4 meter. Then after that, both travel with the same velocities. Okay, therefore, here answer is 4 meter only. So 4 meter is the answer. That is the case. Okay. We can do another way also. Without considering the relative velocity also we can do. Here simply, you see, initial relative velocity of the block with respect to platform is equal to velocity of the body minus velocity of the platform. Initially, along this direction, it has no velocity because it is kept like this. All of you look at the board. The block is kept over the platform. That's why initially the block has no velocity along this direction. Minus velocity of the platform is 4. So minus 4 is the initial relative velocity. Relative acceleration. Acceleration of block minus acceleration of block minus acceleration of the platform. Acceleration of the block means here whenever the platform is in motion in this direction, the friction between these two only drags the block in forward direction. That's why acceleration of the block because of friction force is F by M minus acceleration of the platform. As the platform travels with constant velocity, acceleration is 0. Then if you simplify them, then you will get 2 meters per second square. Here, how far? Here the question asked is the distance the body will slide with respect to platform. How far the block will slide or the body will slide until whenever the velocity of the body is equal to velocity of the platform. Whenever both velocities are same, then the block will not slide. Whenever the velocity of this body and this body both are different, then only the block will slide. Okay, that's why the final relative velocity must become 0 to stop the sliding of the block over the platform. That's why final relative velocity is equal to velocity of the block minus velocity of the platform. That is equal to Vb minus Vb. Whenever the velocity of this body increases to 4 meters per second as that of the platform, then velocity of the body 4 minus velocity of platform 0. So 0. That means whenever the final velocity, relative velocity of block with respect to platform is 0, then the block stops sliding over this one because both travel with the same velocity. That's why 0. Then what is the distance traveled before coming to rest? Okay. Yeah. After you are telling here, when you consider this block alone, initial velocity is 0 along this direction. Acceleration is equal to, because of the friction only, initial velocity is 0. Acceleration is equal to F by M. That is equal to 2. Okay. Whenever the velocity of this block is equal to velocity of the platform, up to that only the block will slide. Whenever the velocity of this block is equal to velocity of this platform, then there is no sliding of the block over this one. Both travel with same velocities like this. That's why final velocity of the block becomes 4. Then what is the distance traveled? What is the distance traveled? What is the distance traveled with the block in this time? Means from v square minus c square is equal to 2s, you find the distance traveled by the block. That is question mark. In what time? You find the time. In the same time, what is the distance traveled by this platform? You find that S2. S2 is equal to velocity of the platform into time taken. So the difference between these two, that is the distance traveled by the body with the distance traveled by the block with respect to platform. Okay. Here they asked the distance traveled by the body with respect to platform only they asked. In the problem, here they asked distance traveled by the body with respect to platform. That's why I consider the relative motion. Okay, Karthi. Here they asked distance. Here they asked the distance traveled by the body with respect to platform. They asked. That's why I consider the relative velocity. Okay, in final relative velocity 0 means whenever because of friction force acts on the block, the velocity of this block gradually increases in forward direction because the block travels with acceleration. The block travels with this acceleration. That's why velocity of the block goes on increase, and whenever the velocity of block is equal to this one, velocity of the platform, in that relative motion between these two is 0. Whenever there is no relative motion, friction becomes absent. Friction becomes 0. Whenever there is a relative motion, then only friction exists. Whenever one body tries to slip over the other body, then only friction exists. And whenever the velocity of this upper block is same as the velocity of the lower block, as there is no relative motion, no friction is there. Because if any relative motion is there, then friction opposes the relative motion. But whenever there is no relative motion, there is no question of opposing force. Okay, Karthi. Okay, right. So these are the problems. Here, what problems you have to do? You do 4, 5, 6 in this exercise only. Next, you see, in this exercise only,